So now you're home, and there's a lot to figure out, and there's a lot of things, and if we maintain the foundation as open communication, as opposed to let's assume that the other knows what I'm thinking, then we're going to be better off. So the one thing we left off with was that the person coming home from treatment is not a fragile flower, and it is not the family's job at home to protect the recovery and to walk on eggshells and to feel like they can't say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing or else they're going to ruin this experience. Now, we're coming in at two very different points. Again, the person coming home, and this is just, I'm going to generalize here. The person coming home can feel like they're on this kind of high, like they've just completed this wonderful task, which they have, right? They just completed treatment. They just, for the first time or the 50th time, they faced their illness. Not easy. And they've met tremendous people. They've talked about things that they'd rather not talk about. They've faced things that they'd rather not face. They've come to some truths. It's a pretty remarkable process. And time, it's an odd thing in treatment. It's been said that the days last forever, but the weeks fly by. And so it's this odd time-space continuum in treatment where it feels like you've been gone forever and not at all. And at home, it feels like you just left and you've been gone forever, that this whole new person is coming back and nothing's changed. So all these different reactions coming forth. So one of the things that is important are the roles in the house. So what is great about a family is that there's this interconnectedness. There's a Rubik's Cube behind me, and that's interconnected. So when you turn one side, it doesn't only change the side you're looking at, it changes the other sides. So that's interconnected. So a family is interconnected, where when one family member kind of comes down with their ability to fulfill the roles, the other family members will step up and complete the roles or maintain the roles best they can until that family member can come back. Now, with illness and addiction, that can take longer than some would hope. But there can also be some emotions tied with that. So perhaps, let's just take finances as an example. As the addict, I took care of finances. And now I go to treatment. And I have to hand that over to you. And you find that overwhelming, but you found it also empowering. And you find that you enjoy this new role. Well, when I come back, I may assume that I've always taken care of the finances. And I'm just going to take that back. And you may feel that, well, you like this new found empowerment, and you feel that I've not been doing a great job and you could probably do better, and you want to maintain this role or at least start to share this role. So that's a very simple and large place where things could go off the rails right away, just with paying bills. Who does it, and whose responsibility was it, and is it, and who did it fall to? Who is it going to fall to? So that's why communication. Sometimes a family member will take on a role they never wanted, and they're happy to give it up. But sometimes they take on a role that they didn't want, but they've come to see it as theirs, and they own it, and they don't want to give it back, or they don't trust that you can handle it at this point. So that then needs to be a discussion. So just again, communication. The other issue is the plan, right? So treatment is just a foundation. And this is another point of possible argument from the patient and the family, where it feels like you've built a house in treatment and you're ready to come home and live in it. It really does. It feels like you've attacked a lot of things, you've done a lot of things. In reality, you've just built a foundation. You have a slab to which to build a house. The family may not even feel there is a foundation. They may not even, they don't know. They don't know what there is. They haven't seen it yet. They need to be shown. So, yeah, the family who doesn't know what there is, if there's a foundation, and you have the person coming out of treatment who believes there is a safe environment to live in. So there can be this miscommunication of, hey, come on, it's safe, here I am, back as I've always been, let's get together, and then trepidation of, I'm not so sure about that. And that can cause some real hurt feelings and some, well, why don't you trust me? How could you not trust me? And what do you mean, how could I not trust you? Just yesterday you had to go to treatment. That wasn't yesterday, that was a lifetime ago. So that's how these things happen. Again, it's a foundation that you build in treatment. That it's just a foundation. You come out and you start putting up the walls and the structure of the home. It's not ready to live in yet. You can start putting up, the roof, and you decorate years down the road. It's not hospitable yet. It's not for dwelling just yet. You need to be there. You need to go there one day at a time, but it can't be this place where you say, I have treatment, that's all I need, I'm good. No. It's the very, very beginning. And early recovery is really difficult. That's one of the other things I don't know that we talk about enough. Addiction's really, really difficult. Admitting you have a problem is really, really difficult. And then recovery is really, really difficult. Every stage of it. I will tell you that maintaining recovery is much easier than starting recovery. The beginning of it is really very difficult, but once you're in it, to be there is you can get into this flow state, this one day at a time, and doing what you need to do. But in the beginning, with this plan of coming home, right, this discharge aftercare plan, who's responsible? How do I make sure they're going to do it? What now? Ultimately, it's my responsibility that I follow my plan. And that sounds really scary because I've not been very accountable. I've not held up my end of the bargain. But we need to be realistic about where our power lies and where our influence lies. And as far as power and control lies, I I have control over me, and that's it. So it's my plan. I'm going to share it with you, and I want you to know about it. I want you to know that, okay, I'm supposed to go to these meetings, and I have this outpatient, I have this therapist, I have this, and this is what I'm going to do, and this is the plan, and I follow this plan. It's up to me to do it, and checking in, that's fine. But again, we don't want to step outside the roles of being the police or the detective or the counselor, where we're managing the plan for someone or making them do it, or because there's a difference. There's a real difference between managing an illness and being in recovery. And a lot of people just manage an illness. And maybe that's important in the beginning, but recovery is a very different thing, right? So managing an illness is having all the parameters really tight, right? Get everything out of the house, lock the phone down, let me see everything. I'm going to take you everywhere. I'm managing an illness, right? I have it. I'm controlling you. Being in recovery is someone entering this phase of life where, okay, I'm going to go to this meeting. I'm going to call my sponsor. I'm going to go to outpatient. So there's a real difference there. And there's going to be a bit of overlap, but make no mistake about it, managing an illness is not a way to live. It's just not. And managing an illness is not recovery. And it's not sustainable. It's just not sustainable. So we're looking for wellness. We're looking for recovery. And again, these are things just to be open about and talk about and share your concerns about. And so ultimately, it's the person's responsibility. If there are concerns about whether or not they're going to follow the plan, share those concerns. Their ability, their willingness, their desire, share those. Talk about that. Every feeling is valid. Every feeling you had about the past, what they went through, that's valid. Just because someone gets better doesn't mean your feelings change, right? So if I made you angry in my addiction and now I get help, it doesn't mean that the anger you held goes away. You still have that. And you still have a right to express that and feel that. That doesn't mean you're bringing up the past, right? That can be manipulation. So there's a lot of work to be done here. And there's a lot of work that requires open communication. And I think we rely too much on the family to just kind of, okay, go here, good luck. Now you've gotten the treatment. So ask as many questions as you can, and take advantage of all the resources you can. Al-Anon's a great resource. And while you don't want to go to the meetings with the addicted person, you certainly want to know what a meeting is and what's going on there. And then allow that to be their kind of existence. So hopefully that helps.